Share it up, Raider Nation. Facebook is fucking with me tonight.
It's another beautiful day to be a Raider. Draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back.
Oh yeah!
Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. It's a little place that you can find a little ways down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Just stop and ask Joe. He's always on the corner. He's a man of commerce. He'll point you in the right direction. Now as you venture down the street, you'll pass the alley. It's a cold, cool breeze. Blows across you, chills you to the bone. Do you dare venture down it? You're goddamn right. Because at the end, where it's really dark. So dark you can't see your hand in front of your face. It's a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And this is unfortunately a solo edition. Unfortunately or fortunately, I'm in kind of a mood, so maybe fortunately, of Ghost to the Post. Because every Monday and Wednesday on Raider Reaction, as we always have, we drop back deep in the pocket and let it fly league-wide as we touch on all the hot league topics from around the great league of the National Football League. Because, of course, our hearts pump silver and black, but you gotta know what's going on with the 31 enemies. I'm a firm believer in being an informed fan, and I am the Commish. I run the tightest fantasy football league around, and I gotta keep up on what the hell's going on. So, I feel you should as well. And most of you, fantasy football is a multi-million-dollar industry. I mean, there is so much money made off of fantasy football now, it is freaking obscene. So, everybody's all up in that shit. So, you gotta embrace it. You just embrace it. What's up, Kaylee? Long time no see. Big L has he had prior arrangements this evening that he had to attend. So, or something. I don't fucking know. Hell shit. You either here or you ain't. If you ain't, I'm rolling. We got stuff to talk about. So, one of the big stories that popped up today, which I thought was an interesting story, and I wanted to touch on first, because, man, quite frankly, I'm on, like, the fucking Mac marathon. I've had to start off the show with Khalil Mack for the last, God, how long? Ugh. So I don't want to start the show with Mac tonight. Let's start the show with something positive. Chuck's feeling me, man. Chuck's feeling me. Good reports from camp. You got no picks today. You got Amari Cooper looking like Coop out there, making some plays, making people look stupid. You got Chris Warren. We got a rookie. He's looking good. We got positive things in camp. So I didn't want to start the show off with some negative bullshit. I didn't want to. I want to talk about the positive things, because regardless, we are what? Do you realize what we are? 48 hours. 48 hours from Raider football. That's where we are. We've waited so long, and only a mere 48 hours. And there will be Raider football. Oh, we will touch on the Max. I just didn't want to start with it. You got to. So, now of course, you know we got you covered. All you gotta do is come right here to the Raider Reaction page. We will have the link posted right at the top of the page. Come 30 minutes before kickoff. You click on that link, bam! You go right to our Hardcore Challenge Live Studio Webcast Rave page where you will be able to watch the game. If that stream happens to get taken down, bam! You jump back to the Raider Reaction page. There'll be a new link posted. Bam! You click on that, take you to another Hardcore Challenge Live Studio Webcast Rave page where the stream will be. If that gets taken down, bam! You go back to the page. You get my drift? I don't have to keep repeating myself, right? Regardless, the man will not fuck us as they tried to fuck us tonight. Because the reason I was late, you guys know I'm never late. The show starts on time. The reason I was late is because Facebook completely shut my account down, made me reconfirm everything, and then I had to reboot the whole thing, reset passwords, verify all kinds of garbage to even come back on. So that's why I was 9 minutes late tonight. Because Mark Zuckerberg was, sticking his foot firmly in my ass for something. What did I do, Mark? What did I do? So, whatever. But, good news out of camp. No picks today. We saw guys making good plays. And Coop, to me, was the highlight of the day, man. Because Amari Cooper is in our offense for this season. That, he's like the spark plug that is going to make the engine run. If you have a breakout Pro Bowl season from Amari Cooper, do you realize what that means for the rest of the team? That means things start to open up for the running game and vice versa. That means, obviously, Derek Carr's having a great season. Because if Amari Cooper's having a great season, you got AC/DC clicking all over. Amari Cooper is huge for 2018. Huge. Now, we know all about the drops. But here's the thing, man. Amari Cooper has been catching footballs since he was probably 5. It's a reflex. It's like breathing. The man can walk down the street, chew gum, be holding a conversation, and be catching footballs without even looking. Like it's a reflex. And he's done it his entire life. Okay, his entire life. All the way to the pinnacle of his craft. And now you think he forgot how to catch footballs? Hell no, I didn't forget how to catch footballs. But what happened was, somewhere along the line, he dropped one or two, and then he started getting in his own head. It's got nothing to do with Amari Cooper's hands. Amari Cooper's hands are top notch. They are possible Hall of Fame caliber if he can get his head right. It's all about confidence for Coop, man. You go out there, you feed him the rock, you get him involved in the game, you get him feeling good about himself, and he is going to carry us this season. And he is going to be the spark plug that is going to move this this souped up sports car that we have. Listen, man, we had a beautiful ride in 2016. I mean, it was one of the nicest in the league, man. It was tricked out. It had everything. And we pulled it over in the off season, parked that bitch, and said, you know what? Let's trick our ride out with everything we got. Everything we can. So we tricked our ride all out, and what did we do? We thought we'd be slick, and we changed drivers. Stuck different drivers in our ride, and they didn't know how to drive it. We put all these new bells and whistles on there, but they didn't know how to drive it. Well, now I think we got the right drivers in the seat of our car. And Amari Cooper, man, to see positive out of training camp for him, it's just huge. It's just huge, man. It's just huge. I'm keeping Amari Cooper in my fantasy football league. I got Derek Carr and Amari Cooper, and man, I'm all in, baby, on those two. I think they get it done. 100%. 100%. So, now moving on, let's get into the real stories. And you know the real stories, they're not positive stories. This is like the news, man. When you watch the news, what do you get? You watch the 30-minute news or the evening news in your local news, and it's 29 minutes of gloom and doom. Somebody got raped, somebody got killed, somebody got robbed, somebody's house burnt to the fucking ground, somebody's kid's missing, and then, oh, the last 30 seconds, oh, look at this cute puppy, though. Look at this cute puppy. So that's the news. You know, so we don't want that. That's all it is. So you got to get to the negative shit because that's all anybody really wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about all sunshine and fucking rainbows. Who's going to tune in for that shit? So the big story that I seen pop up here in the last day or two that I hadn't really touched on was the fact that we're seeing rumors of pay cuts for Mr. Donald Penn. That there are backdoor discussions behind the scenes that he needs to take a pay decrease to help out, free up some money for what we need to do with, you know, the likes of Khalil Mack, and then, you know, possible other free agents that drop off on the wire that we can plug holes in. Plug holes with, excuse me. Plug holes in. Does that even make any sense? Now, there is that outside possibility. When you push on a player and you start talking about taking money back from them that you've promised them, do you get pushback? Does Penn end up getting traded? Do they just flat cut him? Does he get released? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Angry is on, she's on the record as saying he ain't making the season. I'm not so sure. I still think Donald Penn makes it into the season, but I think they're going to want some cheddar back from him. And quite frankly, I think he can stand to give a little back. He's not been as advertised here the last few seasons, and I think we now should bring him on as a discount. At some point, these guys have to understand that you were at the end and now you have to be paid as such. He should be happy that he had the ride he had as a Raider. Because basically, the fake Pirates, the Succaneers already set you out on the curb. So, if they're coming to you to give you a discount, I suggest you take a discount, or Donald Penn.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
So, but we will see. Remains to be seen, and we're working into that. Now, obviously, the other big story, which, you know, I didn't start the show with it, but let's touch on it. Khalil Mack. You're still seeing the stories everywhere. The Mack's on the trade block. There's big divide between the Raiders and Mack. Need to get concerned. I don't think that's the case. Now, hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Let's back up. Back that up. Couple comments there. Now, what do you really think you could get out of trading for Donald Penn? You're not going to get a first for Donald Penn. Dude, what's he got? Another year at best? At any sort of, or you know, you want to stick him at left tackle to protect your quarterback? You think some team would actually give you anything of any heavy value for Donald Penn? I don't think so. Honestly, don't think so. You would get a late round pick, and you're not going to get anything for him. So, it's honestly best, I believe, if we go to him and if you can get him on a little bit of a discount. He's still a serviceable left tackle for us. Knows the system, knows the guys around him. I don't mind him being here if we can get him on the cheap. But you're not going to get much for trading for Donald Penn. You might get like a piece of string and some cheese. You know. I'll give you a slice of like that, you know, plastic ass Kraft cheese and some string. Like an old comic book. I don't know. What do you trade for him? I mean, seriously. What do you trade for him? P.F. Chang's. Oh no, maybe Payway. Maybe Payway. A little lower grade on the Asian food. I don't think he's up to P.F. Chang's standards. I'd say more like Payway or like Panda Express. Maybe like fast food Chinese. You maybe like fast food Chinese. Now you're getting too rich. Now you're getting too rich. Come on now. Now you're just talking crazy. Now you're just talking craziness. All right. Moving on. Back to Mac. I do not believe. You know, we all know. It's all about the money. Mac wants to get paid. Wants to be the highest paid defensive player in the league. We all know. That's what we want. That's what he wants. That's what his agent wants. It's their game plan. It's gonna happen. He's gonna be up there. Whether he's the highest, I don't know. It's gonna come down to a pissing match between him and Aaron Donald, and you know which one can, you know, continue the staring contest longer. And I honestly think it's gonna be Aaron Donald because he's proved he's already done it before, so he's gonna do it again. And he's going to do it again next year if they don't give him what he wants this year. And he don't really care. He's already allowed himself to become a restricted free agent now. He don't give a shit. So he's willing to ride it out. And Mac can't financially ride it out. He's in a different situation. Everybody wants to act like it's the same situation, but it's not the same situation. It's different situations. They're both different individually. Exactly. Mac's situation is completely different. Khalil Mack stands to lose a large chunk of change if he holds out week 1 under the current contract that he has for the Oakland Raiders. Bottom line, he's not going to do it because he can still get franchise tagged the 2 upcoming years. Exactly. Everybody thinks it has something to do with it, Anger. Everybody thinks it has something to do with it, but it doesn't. It's just they see these are the 2 of the biggest names on the defensive side of the football, and they're both holding out, and everybody's like, oh, well, you know, they must be both wanting to get... You know, there's probably a little bit, you know, because the agents are probably playing that angle a little bit, you know, like, well, Khalil's getting this, or, you know. So there's probably a little bit of that, but they're really not tied together. They're really not. Mac is going to lose some money. Now... Like I said, we've had positive news. I don't want to dig deep into the Mac. I mean, the Mac story again. I mean, what else is there really? We've got a standoff right now. This is your basic protocol of the holdout. This is what the media does. You know, after it gets past a week, now they start giving you trade rumor talk, and then you know, oh well, now they're not even talking. And you're just gonna keep hearing bullshit until all of a sudden one day you hear the story is deal's done. Oh, and then this is exactly the same crap that happened with Penn last season. So, it's the exact same thing. So, Khalil Mack, we're done with you for tonight. Hopefully there's some news before tomorrow. Me and Captain can break it down then. Now, I'd like to stop, take a minute, thank each and every one of you for stopping in with us on Raider Reaction tonight. I'm not sure how good the show got out on our normal, you know, We put it out to the masses because Facebook shut us down hard tonight. So those of you stopped and came in and joined us, I appreciate it. Always appreciate any second you guys spend with us on Raider Reaction, because without us, without the Raider Nation and those that support and follow the page, we would be nothing. So, new and old, our band of pirates, thank you, as always. Now, I would like, as you have Andrea Trask commenting up, and is a member of our Raider Reaction team commenting up, and I would like to give a nice little promo for her podcast that she has, Just Win, ladies. Make sure you check it out. Obviously, all news about the Silver and Black from a little different perspective than myself. So you should really check them out. It is a really well done. Just Win, ladies. Check it out. I do believe it is on pretty much any format you can get a podcast on. So check that out. Now, also, pinned to the top of our page, if there are any of you out there, you know anybody that obvious is, pedals, Silver and Black wears, hats, jerseys, they make custom products, and they're just looking for an extra outlet to maybe get your product out there. The Raider Reaction page currently is reaching over 200,000 weekly, and that is damn near 99.9% Raider fans. So it's your target audience. So it's our page is reaching over 200,000 a week. We're getting over 25,000 engagements a week. So that's a good advertisement opportunity, and we're willing to plug your show for you live on or your wares live on our show, your sites, what have you, and we'll allow you to run your ads on the page. So if you're interested, hit us up the page. It's something new we considered, because we realized we are getting out there a little bit, and we'd like to offer it up as a those of you out there, if you've got custom Raider products, or hey man, we're trying to paint the world silver and black. That's our motto here at Raider Reaction, and if we can help anybody out in the nation, hit us up. It's all about business, baby. If I can help you, you can help me. It's all about business. All right, moving on. Martavius Bryant has been one of the other topics, as Kevin just asked about. Is Martavius Bryant a bust? How can you even say the word bust when we're in training camp? What the hell has he done yet? He's played in shorts and t-shirt, and they've had a couple practices against the shitty-ass Lions. How can you say he's a bust? Some of these guys don't ball out until you put them in a game atmosphere. Martavius Bryant is what Martavius Bryant is. He's tall, he's fast, and he can catch a goddamn football. And if you throw it down the field, he can catch it. So regardless of what attitude problems he has, regardless if he takes bong rips on Friday night, if he shows up and catches the ball on Sunday, guess what? Nobody gives a shit about any of the rest of that. Because that's what I heard, Bob. It's playbook stuff, and it's, Gruden, I think, wants him to be more of a cerebral football mind, because, that's John Gruden. So, Martavius Bryant's a talented guy. He's not going to be a bust. He may just take him a minute to figure out how he fits in. That's it. But he's not a bust. Chucky Nation, what's up? So, this goes to the post every Monday and Wednesday, and we like to spin off in the middle and touch on some of the hot league topics, because like I've said before, and I say it a million times, you've got to be an educated fan. So you got to know what's up. So let's get into some league news. Now, some of the bigger league topics. I just had to touch on this one. And I tell you what, man, my wife told me I had to touch on this one. She said, "Man, I know it's your league show tonight, so you got to touch on this." So I got to touch on this because my wife is just beside herself, and it's not very often that the commissus gets wound up about any sort of sports topic, but it was funny tonight. So she got wound up about one, so I had to bring it up. and it's the it makes me laugh thinking about it. It's the subject of male cheerleaders in the NFL. Now, we know what the cheerleaders are there for. I mean, sure, they're talented and they can dance, but they're basically there for something for drunk guys to look at while they're not watching the field. I mean, let's be realistic about it. I mean, let's get down to the brass tacks. I mean, that's what it is. So, like my wife said, am I supposed to be excited about... Exactly, Angria. Is that supposed to now excite her to give you women something to look at the when the game's not going on? Is that what they're trying to pull off? Because I think they're way the hell off of target on this one. And it doesn't surprise me to see that it's the Rams and the Saints. Hey, your Saints go marching in. I guess. And I don't know what you're going to ram out there, but whatever. I mean, is there nothing sacred anymore? I mean, if you want to, I guess, but why? Why? I guess is this so like if you're one of them guys in high school that you're just, you're really buff and you work out a lot, but you really suck at every fucking sport, but you could go be the dude that like holds the chicks up on, on the fucking pyramids, and you see them on the sidelines of college. This gives them something to go to now where they can be considered professionals. This like gives their career a boost now. I guess. It's different. It's interesting. It's interesting. So, hey, whatever, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, but my wife did think that was an interesting topic, and I thought we should touch on that. Now, what I thought was an interesting story this week is when you're in training camp, you got the guy who's probably supposed to be your number one receiver, and Kelvin Benjamin comes out and absolutely blasts Cam Newton, who I think's an absolute douchebag anyway, and he deserves every bit of criticism that he gets because he's a sore loser and a fucking whiny bitch, and he dresses like a douchebag on top of all of it. But he basically said he's inaccurate, he's not a smart quarterback, and just drug his own quarterback through the mud. I mean, I don't know what kind of shit that is to pull right as you're going into your first preseason game. I don't. That seems to be a strange strategy and card to pull. And Kelvin Benjamin already comes into camp looking like he didn't back away from the buffet the entire offseason anyway. So who the hell is he to talk about anybody? He comes in looking like a tight end, like a fucking blocking tight end. So I guess. But it's interesting. What's up, Michael? What's up, all of you watching us up there on our YouTube, on Hardcore Challenge Live Studio Webcast? If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go subscribe to it. We've got a special show. Our first exclusive YouTube streamed show will be going down this Saturday. The Commish Jr. is taking all challengers, Madden 18. He says he's going to hand out some whippings on Madden 18 before he steps up to Madden 19 here in the next couple weeks. But he's honing up on it a little bit before he takes challengers on 19. PlayStation 4, Madden 18. If you got it, you think you got game, we're setting up matches for early evening, Saturday afternoon. We're going to stream them live on our YouTube channel. If you can take down the Commish Jr., we've got some free Raider Reaction swag for you. Got either the black or the gray t-shirts, and we'll throw some bracelets in there as well. So, if you think you got game, message the page, give us your gamer ID, everything, so we can get you hooked up through the network, and we'll get the matchup set. We're gonna be doing it every Saturday going forward for the foreseeable future. They were, Raider King, they were. That was one of the running memes that you seen going around was, wow, does that mean Michael Sam could possibly get a new job back in the NFL? Ooh.
Yeah.
That's just a little savage. Just a little savage. Noon Iowa time. That's 1 o'clock. Ooh, we may be able to pull that off. Shoot us your info, Raymond. Or we may already have yours. I don't remember. But shoot it anyway. Make sure you come check in to Raider Reaction. Now, I'm not 100% positive. I'm going to have the stream up early. So, about a half an hour. I believe it's supposed to start at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. That is when the actual... It's advertised to be starting. Now, that's when the live stream should start. Now, I will have the stream up before that, waiting for the stream to come on because I'm going to have it ready to go and queued up. So you'll be able to go to the Rave page and be there, we can build the crowd and be ready for the game to start. All right, Raven's ready to go. That's 10:30 Florida time, JD. No, at night, Friday night, Black Friday. We got it tomorrow night, or not tomorrow, right? Friday night, just right at 48 hours from now. We have Raider football. Raider football. Finally. So all you gotta do is come to the page about 30 minutes before. We will have the link up. Click. And you'll go right to Hardcore Challenge Live Studio Webcast Rave page where we will be pirating the stream. Arr. Because we are pirates, you know. If you didn't know. Captain Jack should be in studio tomorrow. Thank you for asking, Michael. I'm not sure he appreciates you all thinking of him. He's supposed to be in studio tomorrow for the Raider Nation Ricochet. Now, he does have, as you all know, if any of you follow the captain, he's had some personal stuff going on with his, contractors jacking him around and shit. So, but I believe he's starting to get, he's processed that and working towards a solution. So, I do believe he is going to be in studio with me tomorrow. But I will confirm later. I will be regardless. And if the captain's not here, we're probably going to do something a little different. And, we'll get into that tomorrow. But we should be dealing with that. Now, I just can't get over it. It just cracks me the hell up that you would rip your quarterback like that right before the season. I just don't get it. Now, as you're scrolling through in the NFL pages, you just seen this story, and you just in his however many years of his life. What? Jesus Christ. Will somebody please, just take that dude outside. Maybe give him like a good old American History X curb stomp. And then put a bullet in the back of his head. I mean, why? Why keep somebody like that in existence? I don't get it. I don't get it. But that one just blows my mind. And you see that one, and then you see Greg Hardy trying to take the fact that he's basically a violent scumbag and trying to now make money off it and become an MMA fighter. Oh, the world's a strange, strange place. Damn, Craig was reading my mind. We're like that.
Hell yeah!
It It was a 17-second knock. It was pretty brutal. Like, you know, hey man, you know, he honed his skills on his girlfriend or wife or whatever. You know, he's a real nice guy. Real pleasant fellow. Real pleasant fellow. What do you want to bring home to mom? You know, as long as your mom's wearing headgear. Oh, yes, and I gladly will. Chuck, I got to get that on my notes. I got to get that on my notes, Chucky Nation. Make sure you check out my boy, Chucky Nation, Dead Pirate Sports Southeast. Check him out. He's got all kinds of top-notch swag. We need to get you hooked up. See, you need to go check out my post on the top of the page, my man. I'm trying to get some stuff going with some sponsor action because we've got to, I mean, like I said, man, we're reaching 200,000 plus Raider fans every week with the page, so somebody should be using that to help peddle your stuff. I mean, we use it. Go check out the ReACTION shop. We get your Raider ReACTION fan packs. Excuse me. Pardon. A little bit of frog in the throat. Oh, Danny wants to know what's up with the assistant coach. Oh, you mean the assistant coach with all the credentials and the nice curves? That one? The pretty face? The one that everybody's like, whoa, that's not something you see on a Raider sideline every day. Hey, man, apparently she has the credentials. She has the credentials. She's a CSU grad. She's been hired as the first female assistant in Raiders history. She's 26 years old. Native of Puebla. Chelsea Martinez. Now, hey, the Raiders have always been diverse. Amy Trask, Art Shell, Tom Flores. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. The Raiders have always been diverse, so to see them, it's not, it's not something shocking. The Raiders have always been a team that looks at talent, not anything else or anything besides that. Strength and Conditioning Assistant Coach is her title. She is the Strength and Conditioning Assistant Coach for the Oakland Raiders. That is supposedly, per whatever news source I've got here, which is a news source from Colorado, which I would, NCSU, the Fort Collins, Coloradoan. You would think that would be a, if they don't know her shit, who the hell does? I spent some time in Colorado. I spent some time up there in Fort Collins one night. I don't remember a lot of that evening, but I spent an evening there once. I spent a weekend there one night. Yes, I did. We ain't got time for that story. At least when I can remember it. But man, I can't even keep myself on the freaking on the road tonight. See, it's all Big L's fault, because see, Big L's supposed to be here. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. I'm gonna just have to blame him for not being able to keep it on the road. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Now, like I said, and I mentioned earlier, and I want to keep mentioning, make sure you check out Friday. If you don't have NFL Network, if you don't have a way to watch the game, make sure you come to the Raider Reaction page. We'll have the link posted 30 minutes before the kickoff. You can click on it, take you right to our Rave page. You'll be able to watch the game. We'll be doing that the entire preseason. We may even do it during the regular season, but usually out on location, or we're in the studio for the pregame shows, live halftime shows, live postgame shows during the season, or we're on location doing them, or we're at the games. So typically we don't stream the games during the season, but we usually got a lot of hookups, and we're making some connections. So we'll probably have most of the games streamed for you here as well. Oh, you just ain't right. You ain't right up there on YouTube. You just ain't right. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channels, like I said, check it out. We've got exclusive shows coming on there. Hardcore Challenge Live Studio Webcast is the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at RaiderReACTIon. We're also newly on Instagram. Check us out there, RaiderReACTIon81. There you go. Hector's got it. See, they're doing this. They're doing the Raider fans right this season because of the buzz of having Gruden back. They're doing the Raider fans right. 3 out of the 4 preseason games are all basically going to be televised nationally live. You're getting them 3 of them on NFL Network. So they're really doing us right. So, but there's a large sect of Raider Nation that, you might be at work, maybe you're in the military, maybe you're on location somewhere, hell, maybe you're camping, maybe, family thing, maybe you're hiding out at the back of your sister's wedding, and, whatever. We're going to have your back. And all you got to do is come to the page. Link will be right there 30 minutes before the kickoff. Now, I wanted to spin it back to you guys at the end of the show. We've got about, how much time do we got left? We've got 15 minutes left of your Raider Reaction Goes to the Post Wednesday edition. And I would like to spin it back to you, Raider Nation. What questions do you have that are currently on your mind? Please throw them up in the comments and we will start fielding any questions. Key, big dog or not? Yes, I believe so, Danny. I believe Arden Key could be the real deal. He's showing thus far that he has the talent. There's only 7 minutes left because I started 10 minutes late, Jukebox. So I'm rolling. But hey, I'm not cheating you because Facebook cheated me on a start. I have my music keyed up for a solid 60 minutes. And when my outro music plays, that's when the show ends. So, hey, I guess we're running till 11:10 or 8:10, depending on where you're at. He is killing it. He has looked big. He has looked big. Any other questions out there from the audience? Please throw them up there. We'll field any questions from the comments for the remainder of the show. Please throw them up there. Do I think Penn will take the pay cut? I don't think Penn has a choice. Penn is at the end of his road. I think he has to take a pay cut. I think he has to take a pay cut. I don't think he's marketable. I don't think he can, like I said before, what are you going to get for him? Somebody's going to give you like a piece of string. You're not going to, what are you going to get? Like a 7th round pick for him? You're not going to get nothing for him. How do I feel about Brian not picking up the playbook? It's hard to tell. I would say the story's probably a little blown out of proportion. John Gruden's a perfectionist, and it's probably just the fact that he hasn't picked up on it quite quick enough. I mean, come on, we're not even in the first preseason game yet. You can't throw out a talent. We've seen Martavius Bryant on a football field, so you're going to see it. John, does Carr bounce back from last season? You're goddamn right he does. The guy had a shit play caller calling his plays for him, and unfortunately, it's hard to pull an offensive coordinator midstream. They had to just roll with it and roll the season out, and terrible play calling. There's just the mojo, the juju was not there last season, and I believe the mojo is there. I believe it is there, and you're going to see Carr and Gruden's minds clicking together. I believe Carl Joseph's going to be a starter. I believe Carl Joseph is the starter, and I believe Marcus Gilchrist will be next to him. It's looking to me like Obi may end up being a bust if he doesn't get his shit together. I'm very concerned about Obi much more than I am Garyon Connolly. I think they're coddling Connolly at this point because of what happened last season. That's what I honestly think right now. I think they're being way too overcautious with him, and they're coddling his ass, and they want him to be 150%. Will Hurst start? That is hard to say at this point, man. That is hard to say. He has a possibility. It's a distinct possibility, but without even seeing him yet in any live action. Now, ask me that in a week or two, and I may have a different take on that one. Marshawn gets 15 touchdowns. I'm going to take the under on that. I say Marshawn just gets 1,000 yards, and that's it. Doesn't even break 1,100. Just gets 1,000, and that's it. I don't think it's going to be about stats for Marshawn as much as it is impact. Most likely, Chucky. Most likely. But you never know. Starter? Does he technically start? You know, he's going to play a bunch, but does he technically start? That's what I'm saying. Jordy Nelson. I think Jordy Nelson is going to be the unsung guy that you're really going to be talking about. Like, wow, I'm glad we freaking picked up Jordy Nelson. I think that's what you're going to be talking about in the off season next year, is how big of an impact Jordy Nelson was. Jordy Nelson is going to give you that guy that man, he's got the hands. He's going to be there every time you give him the ball, and he'll make the play. Defense, hold on. Angry is chastising me. Hold on. Defense, rotational or 3-down line? Ooh, I like. I think it's going to be rotational because Gunther's a man. He likes to mix it up. That's why I think he thinks he can play well with the linebackers we got because there's going to be a lot of mix up, and he's going to be changing it up a lot. So, good question. We have a whole new team. We absolutely do. I believe it is. I believe it's going to be a lot of rotation. We will have 2 1,000-yard receivers. Bold statement, but I'll take it. I think it's distinctly possible that we can do that. We've done it before with Crab and Coop, and I think you can absolutely do it with Jordy Nelson and Amari Cooper. I think so. 15 and 1,200. Man, I think you're a little steep. I think that's too much. I think the touchdowns is a little high. And I went 1,200 on the yards last year, and he didn't get there. David Nick Nelson is an interesting one. He is an interesting one because he's that rookie guy. I'm looking at Nick Nelson. I've got a bullseye, a little gold star next to Nick Nelson because if you think of the fact, Garyon Connolly, what if? What if he's not healthy? Because he's slated to basically be your starter. If he's not healthy, you're looking at Nick Nelson, Dexter McDonald. You see what I'm saying? So, Carr will have 40 touchdowns. I hope you're right. It's another bold prediction. It's doable. I'd say I'd be happy with 30. I'd be happy with 30 and seeing us put a little tread on the tires on the ground. That's what I'd like to see. Are we going to see a healthy Garyon Connolly? I'm still optimistic that we will. I really think that this go round they are playing really, really extra cautious with him because of what happened last season. And they say he's got this vitamin D deficiency. You know, some fucking fruit. Drink some milk. You know, figure it out, man. Come on. Aitman is looking good. And Aitman is Bateman's probably part of the reason Gruden's a little upset. You know, Chucky, I saw that Worley got charged with 3 charges, and I hadn't heard shit about it. So when are you going to hear that creep up? Because you know, the Raiders, they like to pull them cards on the Raiders at the worst fucking time. So when are they going to drop that shit on us? Because he's looked actually pretty decent when he's been in there, and somebody that could help. But I thought that was weird too, that you haven't seen anything. You know, Jameis Winston got suspended 3 games for, you know, being a freaking groping fucking douchebag all over some Uber driver, and you got this guy's actually in fucking court getting charged with shit. I hadn't heard nothing other than the story about him getting charged. You're just like, the new female coach? Hey man, if she's got it up here, that's all that matters. It's not bad on the eyes either. You know, nothing wrong with that. You know, I am married to a Latin woman. I'm partial to Latin women, so you know what I'm saying. Hey, you asked. I said I'd answer all questions. Sean Smith I don't believe he's out of jail yet, Raider King, but he's supposed to be getting out of jail early. I heard they're cutting his sentence short, and I do believe he's supposed to be getting out early. I do believe he is supposed to be getting out early. But we'll see. We'll see. Now, and that's the one thing, like Dave said, man, I can't wait for Friday either. And the nice thing is about us being able to have the stream up is, even if you're watching the game at home, you have a forum that you know you can come to on Raider Reaction, where there's going to be a shitload of other Raider fans sitting there watching the game. And whether you guys are watching the game through there, but at least you're all there, and we can chat about the game, and it gives you a forum to be able to come to live, for us to be able to talk about the preseason game in a live forum. So I look forward to seeing you guys on Black Friday, and we can. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. I missed your question. Hold on. Does Switzer become Derek Carr's Julian Edelman? You mean the guy that takes really shitty PEDs from Tom Brady's fucking guy and then gets popped and suspended? I hope that's not what you're talking about. But does he become the go-to guy that catches everything across the middle in any kind of damn route? God damn, I hope so. Because that's what they brought him in to be. That's what they brought him in to be. Now, I like to wrap up every one of my solo shows when I get stuck here by myself. You know, this is one where I'm not supposed to be. Last night I'm supposed to be. That's all right. I'm just breaking Big L's balls. He's got serious shit going on. Oh, I was so hoping to be my man, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it, Chucky. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Miami may be my first game of the season, and it's a heartbreaker. But I got too many personal things going on that I might not be able to make the trip. It's still completely up in the air. It's completely up in the air. But not counting it out though. I like to end every one of my solo shows with a little segment I like to call the WTF. Now, my WTF can go pretty much anywhere because it's mine. I'm still working on it, my man. It's just a little more few obstacles in the road than there used to be. Now, today's WTF, I want to turn to Raider Reaction. The page itself. Now, if you follow Raider Reaction, you will notice in a day's time on our Facebook page, which is our home platform. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram as well. But our main home platform is our Facebook page with our 23,000 plus followers and almost 20,000 likes. That's our page. Now, we post all kinds of shit all day long that is 99.9% silver and black. We post shit about other teams and basically point fingers and laugh at them. You know, we'll post shitty memes about other teams because we're Raiders, man. And I like to point and laugh and make fun. when I see other stupid shit. And if I want to put a post up and call Greg Hardy a piece of shit because I think he's a piece of shit, then I'm going to. Because why not? So if I post 100 posts and 99 of them are all about the Raiders, 100%, and there's one post that's just like that happens to have another team in it, are you really gonna fucking come at me and lose your goddamn mind over a fucking post? Seriously? My God. I had some dude crawl up my ass today about the Greg Hardy post. Seriously? Come on, man. You know how much shit we post for the nation? And you're gonna come crawl up my ass? Come on. What the fuck? What the fuck? Thank you for joining us on another edition of Raider Reaction. We'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully the damn show starts on time and Zuckerberg doesn't try to fuck with me again. But we'll be here. Hopefully Captain's here in studio with me. Regardless, it'll be the Raider Nation Ricochet. Same Raider. Raider Nation!